The garden did not fade with time. It changed, the way living things do, but it never disappeared. Paths grew softer under familiar steps. Flowers bloomed where they were needed most. Birds returned again and again, carrying calm on their wings. Butterflies drifted through, reminding the air that gentleness still mattered. The garden lived on in moments, in the way you paused before reacting, in the kindness you offered without thinking, in the breath you took when stress tried to rush you. An orange cat sat at the edge of the light, watching the horizon. It didn't wonder what would come next. It trusted that life knew how to continue. The garden shared its quiet truth. What you nurture does not end. It becomes part of how you move through the world. Even when days felt heavy, the garden waited. Even when you forgot, it remembered for you. Even when the world felt loud, the garden stayed quiet and steady inside your chest. You realized then, the garden was no longer a chapter. It was a rhythm. Something that lived in your choices, your pauses, your care. Something that would be passed on in small ways. Through patience, through listening, through calm presence. And as the light warmed the path once more, you understood. The garden lives on because you do, and wherever you go next, it will grow with you, quietly, faithfully, always ready to return. Morning returned to the garden, not as something new, but as something understood. The light rose gently, touching the same paths, the same leaves, the same soil. Everything looked familiar, yet nothing felt the same, because you were different now. Flowers opened once more, not rushing, not questioning. Birds greeted the day softly. Butterflies hovered where they always had. The garden repeated itself, but with wisdom. Cycles had come full circle, and this time, you noticed. You noticed how your breath matched the morning air, how your body stood more relaxed on the path, how calm arrived without effort. An orange cat walked beside you, steady and unhurried. It had always known this truth. Life moves in circles, not straight lines. Each return brings understanding, not repetition. The garden offered its final lesson. Beginning again is not starting over. It is returning with awareness. With gentleness, with trust. You didn't need to change anything about the garden. You only needed to meet it differently. Every breath was a doorway. Every pause was a return. Every day was a new beginning, built from everything you had already learned. As the sun settled fully into the sky, you felt complete. Not finished, but whole. The garden had no ending. Neither did your healing. Only cycles, only awareness, only life continuing, softly, patiently, beautifully. The garden followed you into ordinary moments, not as flowers or paths, but as awareness. You noticed it while waiting in line, feeling your feet on the ground. You noticed it during a conversation, choosing to listen instead of rush. You noticed it when stress tried to rise, and you paused before it took hold. That pause was the garden. Sunlight through leaves had taught you to notice light wherever it appeared, on a wall, on a table, on your own hands. Birds had taught you to listen for calm beneath noise. Water had taught you to let feelings move without drowning in them. An orange cat appeared in your thoughts, sitting quietly, reminding you that presence is enough. You didn't need perfect conditions to feel peace. You only needed to arrive where you already were. The garden offered its gentle truth. Healing becomes real when it lives in small choices, in how you breathe, in how you respond, in how you treat yourself on ordinary days. You weren't practicing calm anymore. You were living it. The world still moved fast. Problems still appeared. But you carried a steadiness that didn't depend on silence or solitude, because the garden was no longer a destination. It was a way of being. And in that simple, everyday living, the calm you once searched for had finally found a home.